Okay, if you're watching this, you're in the right place. That's what I think. Always, me personally, what I think. You know what I'm saying? This is no muzzle. Okay, what that is to me is where you I'm glad I have my guest here today. We break down the walls. You know what I'm saying? No pressure, but I try to get a little vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Just talk about stuff in general. You know what I'm saying? This is no muzzle. My name's Eddie, and my guest, who's been here before on the page, go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Frank 9. I've done the podcast with my guy over here before.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. So what's up, man? So what's going on, dog? Talk to me, man.
There's a lot going on, actually.
I know that. I know that. People that might watch that are like, you know, your fans or something, they know exactly what's going on. So tell me, music, filming and stuff like that. Did it take a step back because of the corona?
Yeah, so because I felt like before everything, you know, all the situation happened, I was starting to really gain my clientele, not clientele, but my word of mouth. You know, people were starting to discover me and that I do videos, and it's like people were starting to hit me up for logos, stuff like flyers, album covers, shit like that.
Yeah, and I definitely did too.
Yeah, and then I felt like once this whole thing happened, it's kind of like it put a pause, especially on others, because you know they're not really focused on that right now. They were more worried about, you know, getting their families situated, you know, making sure that they were taken care of, especially when you know, people went crazy in the grocery stores. And toilet paper, bro, who would have known toilet paper would have been so hard to get your hands on?
It's a fact,
bro.
Man. It's a fact. It's fucked up. You know what, man? They said, all right, we got to stay home. I'm like, all right, cool. I stay home all the time anyways, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's good to see that you're here, you're healthy, man. You I rolled up and you had something going on, but you can't show the people yet, you know what I'm saying? How do you feel about your look? Are you always trying to change it up? Are you always trying to, do you care about the image of Frank 9?
I'd say I would. You know,
are you afraid to make mistakes though?
Nah, not anymore. I feel like before I maybe I didn't want people to know I made mistakes, but now it's like, you know, mistakes are who make us. Like, that's what makes you who you are, you know? If you don't make mistakes, you're not perfect. Come on, nobody's perfect.
That's true, man. What's it called? When I hit you up for this, I'm like, what can I talk to 9 about that I don't know? You know what I'm saying? Because I've listened to your music, and I think it's really good. It seems like it's really seasoned.
Thank you.
So tell me, how was it when you first started though? Like, did you feel like you were kind of like, looking back, were you kind of like whack and stuff? Like, you felt like it was like garbage and stuff like that?
It's funny because before, I guess when you first hear yourself, like a recording of yourself, you start criticizing your voice, right? But me, I always thought I kind of like my voice. Okay. I always like my voice. I mean, to begin with, when I was in 3rd grade, 4th grade, I was actually in chorus in elementary. So I was already kind of involved in music in a way, but I didn't know that I was gonna end up taking it that serious. So I always heard my voice, you know, I always thought about my voice, like, hey, you know, singing this and that, or even just acting, not acting, but kind of using your voice, imitating, kind of being funny in a way, just changing your voice, you know, kind of being animated. Okay. So then when I started hearing myself on a record over a beat, it's I kind of started switching my tone and starting to mess with my vocals, where I realized okay, I could manipulate my vocals to sound different, you know. And then that's how it started off, and I started writing lyrics, jotting down notes and stuff like that, and people heard my voice and they're like, damn, you actually sound pretty good, and that encouraged me to keep going.
So was it a decision? Was it a dream for you to actually take it serious and stuff like that, or
hell yeah,
are you just whatever about it?
At first I felt like it was just whatever. It was a hobby, you know. I never thought that I was actually gonna try to take it somewhere. When I first got started, I was still in high school, and I mean, the main thing, my goal was finish high school, obviously, and then try to find a job afterwards. I wasn't yo, I'm gonna drop out of high school and be a rapper. Like, there's other people who are like that, you feel me?
Yeah, especially back in the day, you know what I'm saying? It was like that. It's either you did this,
exactly,
or you know what I'm saying? Because school probably wasn't an option for a lot of people.
But then again, that's actually the right way to do it, bro.
Think so?
Yeah, to give it your 100% to whatever it is you want to pursue. Because if you do that, you're gonna get to where you want to be. If you're over here doing it for like 5 years, like let's say I did it for 10 years and I only ever gave it like 50%, that's all you're ever gonna get back, 50%. You give it 100%, you're never gonna stop. You're gonna make sure you get to where you want to be, you know? You're never gonna give up. But it's like if you're not giving your full commitment, then you're not really fully investing yourself. But for so long I felt like I was doing it but not really like taking it to the fullest places that I could, you know, like really doing whatever I could, like no matter what, at any moment. And it's like when it really changed for me, I want to say it was 2 years ago, when people would ask me like, so what do you do? Oh, I make music. You know, that changed for me. Like when I started actually saying, like, oh, I'm an artist.
Yeah, you're not just some like, Joe Schmo.
Yeah, like before I was like, music. Oh, I go to school. I'm a college student.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, and I make music on the side. Now it's like, oh yeah, I make music. You know, I do videos and stuff like that.
Is that a good feeling?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And I got the stuff to back it up, you know?
Yeah,
so it's cool. Like now I got the validation from people too. So people like who back me up, they follow me and they're watching me. So it's cool.
Yeah. Are you looking? Is Frank Knight looking to get into the music industry? Like, you know, like walking in the offices, performing like real radio interviews and stuff like that, having like a manager and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That's a big step. That's, you know, that's it could be a lot, you know what I'm saying?
I would say so, but at the same time, if you're going along the lines of maybe like signing to a record label, I would probably say not. Just because I've learned about like a lot of the situations that a lot of artists have been with record labels and how they can't actually get out of their, you know, their contracts. And it's like, you know, it's a full commitment. Like if you sign a contract for 10 years, obviously the money sounds good when you first sign it, but then, you know, there's life changes. So as you go, life might change for you. You might have a family by then. It's like you're not always in the studio now, but then the label's on your ass like, hey bro, we need an album like next month or something, you know. And then there's artists that are in situations like that. But in my case, I'm like, I've been doing it independently, bro, and I feel like
it's the best way. It's the smart way.
Yeah, I feel like I'm taking care of myself, you know, and I'm doing what I need to do as an independent artist. So for a label to back me up, it's only gonna do is like help me publish stuff and just help my name like get out there. Content wise and like who I am wise, like discover myself, like that's already been done. So it's red. I mean, if a label picks me up, a label picks me up.
I'm not opposed to it.
But I would say like to be in the industry, definitely. I mean, we all want to leave a legacy, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to leave a legacy. I for sure do. So if I were to be able to like leave my music out there, and then even though when I'm not even here no more, I'm not walking on this earth no more, and people are still listening to me, bro, I've done my job.
That's true, man. It's crazy, man. So for been doing it for a while now, have you now that you're at a certain level, because I'll say that from the outside, you know, you're at a certain level and you do things that, you know, a lot of people can't do. They can't say they got actual real records where like the hook is singing and you got exceptional lyrics, you know what I'm saying? But do you ever get that feeling where it wasn't, maybe what you put out wasn't good enough, or maybe that verse that you let go wasn't that good? Do you get those moments? Yeah, no, man, I still got records that I haven't even put out because I feel like, you know, you kind of level, like you say, you level up and you're like, you know what, nah, I can't give the people this, it's not good enough. And then it's like once you level up, it's like, why am I gonna give them this? This the old me. I gotta give them the new me, the better me, because that's what you want to give the world, the best version of yourself. So I have songs, you know, that are 4 years old. Damn. But they're good songs. The reason they didn't get put out is just because either setbacks or because I felt like I worked on something else that came after and it was just better. So I was like, you know what, even though that's cool, this tops that, so let's focus on this. And then, I mean, I just keep working on new songs, bro. Like, yeah, even though I'm still working on this right here and we're not even finished on this,
I might hear a beat, and if it's in the moment and I feel like writing some stuff down, then it just happens.
Consistency is important.
Yeah,
you know, that it's true. So okay, now tell me about your writing process. I pay attention a lot to lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Bars, individual bars, lyric, you know, all that technical shit. I like all that stuff. So tell me about your writing process, because I listen to your raps and I'm curious. You know, like, what's the mentality? What's your objective? You know what I'm saying? Like, tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so it's a little hard to describe because I myself sometimes, like, you know, obviously there's the saying you get writer's block.
Yeah.
There's days I have writer's block. Like, sometimes I might feel like, yo, I haven't written a song in like the past 2 weeks. Like, I need to work on something. So I'll try to force myself to sit there and really write something, but it's not always something that I'm happy with. And I feel like you should never force things out. You know, anything that's forced doesn't last long. So I definitely, when it comes to the writing process, I feel like I'll listen to a couple beats. Like, it's never just that first beat, for sure. I think it's usually like that third beat or maybe like that fifth beat when you really get into it and it starts speaking to you, and then it's almost like the song writes itself. It's crazy. Like, it really does write itself, because the way I do it is I write based on the vibe of the production. So I really feed off of the, like, producer. So like lately I've been writing a lot like sentimental shit, you know, like some stuff for the ladies, you know.
That's right. Yeah.
So obviously, if you hear that, you're gonna know like where I've been and like what I've been experiencing. It's obviously put into my lyrics, as opposed to like if you go back like I want to say maybe 6 years ago, where I was rapping stuff like that.
Cool. Yeah.
So it's like you obviously know like what a person's feeling based on the production, and I feel like that's really where the like lyrics come from. But unless you're like freestyling, because I know a lot of people freestyle like the melody first and then they put down the lyrics, but I've never been able to do that. Like, I've always just started writing first, and then as I write, I fix my rhythm. It's crazy.
Do you actually write raps?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what, to me, man, I think that's like a lost art. It's either you type it in or you got it in your head.
Yeah.
Writing down raps, man, that's what's up. Why do you continue to do that?
I mean, I feel like it has to do with the whole thing where, like, if you write it down, you remember it. If I'm just typing my lyrics, bro, I'm not gonna remember it. I have a hard time, trust. So when I really want to learn a lyric, I have to write it down. I got a notepad and everything. Like, I gotta sit down and write it down.
That's gonna be in a museum one day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, man. So okay, so when listening to the production, when Frank 9 gets a feature, did he hear the feature before it was there? Did you hear somebody's voice there before, when you were listening to the beat, shit like that, writing your raps down? Tell me about when it comes to a feature for you.
That's a good question, actually.
Oh, thanks, man. You know what I'm saying? It's what we do here, man. This is usually not an interview, but you know what? I just had a lot of questions for you, so you know what? That's, you know, sometimes when you meet up with people, that's just what you got in your head. You got some questions, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To get somebody to talk to you, you know, like, you know, like, we've been around each other, but you know what, like, I want to know more, you know what I'm saying? Like, your head space, the way your brain works. So yeah, tell me about features, man.
So when it comes to features, I don't always have like the artist in mind, you know. Okay. But I do have like, I would say like a style in mind, like, maybe like, damn, that's a good question, bro. How do I get my features?
Because you fuck with Wavy.
Yeah.
You fuck with, who do you fuck with? Who else do you don't get that many features?
I don't, actually.
Mostly Wavy, man.
Yeah, Wavy's usually my boy.
You and Wavy.
Well, the thing is, me and Wavy, we're building this duo. Like, we're gonna make a duo, so that's gonna be Non-Soul. So I go by Frank 9. That's Wavy Soul. So together we're gonna be Non-Soul. I feel like Non-Soul, it's gonna be cool because obviously he has that singing voice. He has that deep tone. That's a singing voice. And then I'm over here with the lyrics. You know, I got the bars. I'm rapping. I got a different voice. So I feel like we kind of we blend good with each other. You know, we bring what the other one doesn't.
Like yin yang. You know, like it goes together. Yeah. It's different, but it goes together.
And aside from that, I feel like what's really important is the fact that we're different. You know, we're from different cultures. Obviously, he's black. I'm Latino. So it's like you don't always see that, like, two different colors like coming together.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to implement that too. And now, obviously, my boy, like, ever since the first day we met, we've gotten along, and we've mixed so well. So we understand each other. And aside from the music thing, like, outside of music, he's one of my closest friends too. So, like, it's awesome, man.
Why don't you have too many rap features?
Too many rap features? I feel like if they're not doing better than what I bring on the record, then why?
Talk that shit, man. God damn it.
I'm gonna be honest.
I like it.
I'm gonna be honest.
Let's go, man. That's what's up. So, Nine Soul, man, is that turning into an album, a tape? What's going on, man? What's the plan?
It was supposed to be an EP.
Yeah.
Like I was supposed to be like maybe 5 songs, but yeah, lately we've been cooking, man.
That breakup song, man.
Hey,
when Wavy just comes out, doing you wrong. Oh man, I was like, this is nuts. Oh god, man, that deserves a Grammy or something, man. No jokes, man.
Appreciate that.
Nah, you're good, man. You were talking about you rap. Like recently, it seems like you've been rapping about sentimental, about women. Why do you rap about women so much?
Oof, getting touchy.
It's no muzzle, man. We gotta break those barriers. We gotta take off the mask. You know what I'm saying?
For a long time, I felt like I went through relationships where.
So women, a big part of your life.
Yeah, of course. You know, I mean, I like
the
women.
Curse of a.
I like women.
The curse of a, a good-looking dude. You know, it happens. Yeah.
But I feel like a lot, like my past relationships, I felt like I would blame the other person, and then I started learning it was kind of like a self-sabotage thing. Like I felt like I wasn't good enough for them, so then I would kind of like just distance myself. Like I felt like that's not what they're looking for, so I would kind of make decisions for them, and I don't know, like I kind of self-sabotaged for so long, and I guess that's why I like make music about girls, because I felt like it's never worked out for me. You know, I've always had relationships where like I obviously ended up hurt, but I never took to mind like was the other person hurt too. Sometimes I always thought like I was the only one hurt and the other person didn't really care, because at least that's how I saw things. But then I started realizing like like it's a two-way thing, it's reciprocated. So like I just started thinking about that, and I started writing music where it's like it's both-sided. Like sometimes it's like you get my side of the story, but also I'm speaking about her side of the story too.
For her.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's up. That's cool.
I
like that.
I learned from my
dope.
mistakes, you know. So I realized my mistakes, and I started putting it on paper. Like, yeah.
So let me ask you something. Do the women ever give you their opinion? Like if they heard a track from you?
Oh yeah.
Do they ever feel like you were talking about them?
Bro, the breakup.
The breakup. It tells you right there what happened.
Okay, so the breakup, look, when I put that out. You were
talking so highly about this girl, but the song is breakup, so you know how it ended.
Yeah. No, but it's funny because the girl actually wrote that ended up hitting me up like after she heard the song. She texted me, she was like, try to check up on my family, this and that. But I don't know, I didn't really reply. I didn't even respond to her text, bro, to be honest.
Damn, no reply.
Nah, because she didn't deserve it. I felt like she didn't deserve it, honestly. Because I had, obviously we had a fallout. After the fallout is when I reached that point where I was like, all right, I understand my mistakes, and I try to be friends with everybody, bro. Even if we had a fallout, I try to reconnect with people. She didn't want to reconnect, so the fact that she didn't understand what I was trying to do, I was like, why waste my time? Why waste my energy? But then maybe I should have responded. So maybe that was my mistake too. Maybe that was her trying to reconnect.
Just to make amends.
Exactly.
Seal up that wound or whatever. That chapter.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of times, especially men,
closure.
Like nowadays, I've seen it tweeted a couple times. Like, why can't men have friends that are girls? Why can't we do that? And it's true. Like a lot of times we run into women where like we feel like we look at them like we want to be in a relationship with them, but sometimes we don't think about like they could be a good friend. That's all they could be, like a good friend. Really, we don't have to have just male friends. Like you could have good female friends, and that's what I've started developing now. Like just friends that are girls, and like they show me love obviously because I'm an artist and then I make music that they can connect to. But it's like that's that barrier. Like, I'm not gonna try to like make a move on them or anything like that. Like, I understand, okay, you my fan, you know, we can communicate and talk about my music, or we can talk about what you're going through. I can provide some advice, you know, and that's all it is, you know. It's just being friends. So
oh yeah, I kind of want to get your view on relationship, you know, because every man, every woman goes through, you know what I'm saying. Me personally, I feel like the whole subject of men having girlfriends, girls having guy friends, you know, I just feel like it's whatever your partner is comfortable with, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's whatever they want, because if what you want is this person to be in a relationship, to be with them, to build with them, to have something with them, you gotta adjust, you gotta compromise, you know what I'm saying. You gotta change.
No, you're obviously
that's real shit. Like, don't ever think
be things you gotta give up, obviously.
Don't ever think you're not supposed to change. You're supposed to be who you are, and the person's supposed to accept you. Maybe you're a shitty person, you know what I'm saying. Like, maybe you're not a good person. They love you because I guess they could probably see past it, or whatever the case is. But you know, like, there is supposed to be change. There is supposed to be things you're not supposed to do, like, you know, depending on your partner's comfortability and all that shit. Like, you know,
the way I believe, bro, man's kryptonite is a woman. Man's kryptonite is a woman, because a woman can really, like,
there would be the toughest of thugs crying to their women, you know what I'm saying. Like, man, shit, man, tough motherfucker in the street with his girl, he's crying, man. Nothing wrong with that either, man. I respect that.
Nah, it's true, because I had a cousin who he went through a breakup. You know, he moved to California because his girl wanted to pursue being a hairstylist, so he made the move over here. The relationship didn't last. Obviously, he was stuck out here. So it's like, you know, girls have that power over you. Though, if they want to pursue something and you really love her, you're gonna follow her. Just like the other way around. If a guy wants to do something and a girl really loves him, she's gonna follow him. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that up in there.
So what do you think? What do you think is your view on relationships? Like, what do you like to? What's your what's it called? How can I say it? What's your like, when you're in a relationship, what's something that you don't like, or what's things that you don't mind? Like, do you mind the whole guy friends type of thing, stuff like that?
Oh yeah, guy friends. No, that's fine with me. I mean, obviously, like, you know, there's boundaries. Yes. You know, there's boundaries. Like, if you're kicking it with your guy friends, just you and him, like, come on, like, what's that? But it's like, if y'all kicking it with other friends, you know, oh, these are friends from high school. You guys were already friends before the relationship even was established. That's different. You know, you can't just tell her, oh, you can't be friends with them no more, or you can't be friends with, like, a girl. You can't be friends with a guy. Like, that's kind of messed up, especially if it's like, it's a solid friendship, you know, and it's really just a jealousy thing where you're like, you feel threatened by another person. Like, and then that's another thing, you should not feel threatened by another person. Okay. So if you feel threatened by a certain person, first thing you gotta do is communicate that to your partner. Okay. And then that's something that I do. Like, obviously right now I'm talking to somebody, I'm seeing somebody, so the first main thing we do is we communicate. And that's what she's always told me, like, if something makes you uncomfortable, just bring it up, we can talk it out. But if you zip your mouth, you don't bring it up, how the other person's supposed to know what you don't like? Okay. Yeah.
I like that. So what's it called? So what's okay, maybe looking at your past relationship, what would one of your exes say is the negative part of Frank 9?
Oh shit. Okay.
What does Frank 9 do that pisses a girl? Look, I'll give up mine, because I'm a very chill guy. Cool, man. I'm cool. You know, I'm easygoing. But the thing is, I have a quick trigger. I can get very angry a little bit fast, and you know, that I do feel bad, you know, because sometimes there's moments where I do snap on my girl, and she'll tell me about it, and she'll feel hurt. And because I love her so much, I feel hurt, I feel bad, and that's where that change comes in for me. I need to change. I need to stop being a freaking dick. All, you know, like, not all the time, but you know, sometimes, you know, those dickish habits or whatever. Yeah. And also another thing she said, I can be, I don't care. I'll say what my girl feels about me. You know, she said sometimes I can be an asshole, and I'm like, damn, like, I never looked at myself like that until, like, my really good friends started telling me, like, yeah, you could be an asshole. Like, damn it. I'm trying, I want to be a good person, you know. I don't want people to be, you know, feel fucked up around me, you know what I'm saying? So that's, you know, that's something about myself, you know.
What do you think that is, though? Is it like you're trying to be funny, or is it on purpose? Like you want to hurt somebody's feelings, you want to hurt their ego?
You know what? I don't know, man. When I look at myself, I just always feel like I don't know, man. I couldn't even explain it to you, because when my good friends or my girl points it out to me, I'm like, damn, like I didn't look at it like that.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it like that. Maybe if I said a joke, or maybe if I say something a certain way, I never looked at it like I was being an asshole. So now when I look back, I'm like, wow, like I'm an asshole. Like, god damn it, like I don't want to be like that. So, you know, there are changes that I like to make. I like to just be a little more happy, a little more like, you know, I think now before I say certain things, you know, like, okay, you know,
that's very important.
Like, you know, you gotta filter yourself sometimes. You gotta stop yourself, catch the madness real quick, and like, oh wait, okay, hold up. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say this joke right now.
Sometimes that little, you know, that little voice in your head has to stay as the little voice in your head.
Word. Yes, it's a fact, you know, like that so that's for me, myself, you know what I'm saying? So go ahead, give it up, man.
I mean, off top, I already know why some of the things was. I'm a very uptight person. I'm a very serious person most of the time.
Okay.
So a lot of times girls like to have fun.
Okay, yeah.
That's never been me. Like the party, the club thing. Fun. I feel like that's how they saw me as. Like, man, this dude don't like to have fun or something.
Is that how you saw yourself?
Eventually, yeah. I realized I was becoming like my dad.
Okay.
Yeah. A
guy's worst nightmare is becoming like their dad's.
I mean, not the worst nightmare, because I mean,
I love my dad.
My dad does have his flaws, but at the end of the day, there's other men that are even worse, you know. So I always look. My aunt's the one who really put me on check. She told me, you know, you always gotta take the good from the people in your family, not the bad. Obviously, everybody got some bad in them, but you gotta take out the good and really just feed off of that. Because if you're feeding off the bad, it's just bad feeding bad, and it's just back and forth. So if you reciprocate the good, then obviously they're gonna do the same. Something that me and my dad weren't always like so vocal, and now we are. This past Father's Day, I did something that I never done. I expressed my feelings to my dad right in front of him.
Wow. How was that?
Bro, we both cried.
Oh man, that's what's up, man.
We both cried. I ain't cried in like 5 years, bro.
No tears.
And I was crying like a little kid.
Damn,
you know?
Man,
like,
it's crazy, man.
The thing with me is he's not my blood. Like, he's my stepdad, you know. But he's raised me since I was 4 years old, so he's the only man I've ever known in my life. You know, he bought me my bikes. He taught me how to ride a bike. He took me to hoop. You know, he told me, like, you better stay in school. You better fucking get some good grades and shit, you know, just like a father does. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I call him my dad. I call him my father, you know. I look up to him. I show him love. Yeah. But it's like, for a while, I felt like, I guess he had a certain expectation for me, like, obviously to go to school, be somebody, like, he wanted me to be a mechanic or something like that, and I was like, I mean, but I don't like that. So I felt like I wasn't making him proud, you know. So I guess I was using that against him, like, I'm not making you proud, like, oh, whatever, you know, I'm just gonna stay over here, you stay over there, we do our own thing. But it's like, now we communicate more and we understand. Like, the other day, I have this song called 5:42 a.m. He heard it, he saw the music video. And one day I was just chilling, washing dishes, bro, just getting, like, before work, you know, I was having breakfast, I was washing my dishes, and he goes on walks with my mom. They came back, and my mom was like, hey, your dad heard your song, and he liked it. My mom told me that, and I was like, all right, cool, whatever, you know, like, he liked it, all right, cool, one song. It was like, I got like 200. But
this one, yeah.
But then he came in, bro, and he told me himself, like, hey, that song you got is really good, like, I like it, and he hugged me. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I kind of got worried. Like, it was just like, why you hugging me right now, you know? Yeah. Just because we don't hug so often. And I think that's common in, like, Latino community, Latino families, you know? Especially the guys, we don't show love to each other like that. So when he hugged me, like, that shit really touched my heart, bro. And I looked at him, and then he told me straight up, like, look, I know I don't hug you too often, but I just want you to know, like, I really like the song, and I really see what you're trying to do, like, and I'm happy for you. And I was like, damn, all right, you know, like, that shit made me feel the type of way. And then that's when I realized, like, you know, my dad's happy with what I'm doing. He really is. And that's all I really ever wanted, bro, to make him proud, you know, make him proud of what I do. So
that's what's up. I feel like I come into the No Muzzles with an objective, and that's always to break the barrier. You know what I'm saying? To not hold back. And just be who we are. You know what I'm saying? I'm Eddie. You know, you're 9. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want people to be who they are, and I just wanted this place. I wanted that to be this place, and the fact that it happens every single time, I just feel good. I feel accomplished. I feel like I'm doing something right. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get out of here. You know, it's great conversation, man. You know, I gotta get home to my baby and my girl. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to upset her. You know, I'm not trying to do that. You know, I
gotta get some on too.
You know, I love my life. You know what I'm saying? Bro. And like, when I was younger and I was angry and kind of depressed all the time, going through stuff or whatever the case is, you know, like, I felt like this is what I always wanted. I wanted a family, and I wanted love. You know what I'm saying? Even though I never said it, I never expressed it to people, not even to the people most closest to me. You know what I'm saying? But I have it now. I couldn't be happier, and I wouldn't do anything to ruin it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be me, and me is my girl, my baby, my family, and I want everybody to be good. I want everybody to be happy. You know what I'm saying? If you're down in the dumps, that's not what I want. That's not what I go for. You know what I'm saying? I pray for you, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need something, I'll try my best. If I can't, you know, I'm sorry, but hopefully, you know, things work out. You know what I'm saying? So what's something you want to say before we get out of here? You know what I'm saying? I gotta go home back to the lives, you know?
I just want to let everybody know again, Frank 9, I do got some new music coming out.
Go listen to it.
Got some new music coming out. You might want to listen to it. So. Yeah, go ahead and, you know, tune in.
Yeah, man, this was no muzzle. You know what I'm saying? Let me get out of here the proper way. You know what I'm saying? Peace out to everybody. Please like and subscribe, man. Fuck with me, because I'm just trying to do something real. Like, I'm not trying to be nothing I'm not. I'm saying it's no muzzle.
There you go.